Welcome everyone. Today we have a new meta, new patch gods build with 4 stampede, 4 gods, and also 4 turns. So let's have a look at demonstration of this build in action, and I'll briefly go through the entire build with you guys in this guide. So what is happening is that we're stampeding into the enemies, stunning them with magnets, with more stampede, AoE damage, stuns with Queen of Pain, and perma damage reduction with Only Knight. So the build is very flexible and it is very potent against any other build. You have so much cooldown reduction, you have infinite stuns, which I'll show you guys how, and you have tons of ways doing physical, pure damage, and also AoE damage. The build itself also has a lot of mechanics that can be great even in the early game. So what we do is, let's start with the build. Now, as you guys can see over here, we're facing against Rook players, Queen players, and also King players. So this is a very high rank build that works in any mode of the game, and it is also very powerful. So why is this build super good is that in the latest patch change, the turns has been reduced in cost. You can now always find the 3 turns, which makes this build perfectly good with 4 gods and also 4 turns. Tolerance, you know, the ones that summons totems, right? So on top of that, you can easily find Shadow Demon should you want to start a losing streak. I'll try to showcase to you guys what happens when you start a losing streak as well, but in this video I do believe I try to go for a win streak. Both of the meta works for this build. So what are the essential units you're looking for? It's going to be Spirit Breaker. Spirit Breaker is the first torrent. The second torrent is going to be your Earthshaker, that is now a 3-cost unit. Finally, you're looking for your, what's his name? Elder Titan, yes. You're looking for Elder Titan, which is now a 4-cost unit. So the turns can easily be acquired. One of the highlights for this build that you really want to look for when you start the game is to have Last Track in the game. Last Track can become great centerpiece because not only Last Track is a god, Last Track is also a stampede unit. So here with the centers, with the Last Track, this allows us to really go ham in the ultra late game. Nothing too special in early game, and over here what I do want to highlight is you can see I found Earthshaker quite early. Just 2 of the turns are not super strong. They just give you a totem. Now you're looking for 3 turns together with Wizards. In terms of the item selections, I am looking for any item that provides me with mana regeneration, additional mana gain, and also ways of gaining more mana, together with additional magical damage. That is not bad as well. You can see I'm just going with some basic items in the very start. And the 50% mana regen is always good because you have so much lower cooldowns for this particular build. Now in terms of the early game, you can see I started with the turns, try to get my bounty hunter to get the first kill so we get some bonus gold, and there's nothing too fancy, but this is just knowing the mechanics and also when to level. Even with level 1 units, you can do great against most other players. So this is how I started my win streak, and I was like, hey, I look pretty strong, right? And I can potentially go into 3 goblins, so this is why I decided maybe I go for a win streak once I find a 2-star Shadow Demon. It is important to try to stick to your streak. Whether you're going for a win streak or losing streak, this gives you the best gold in the early game. Let's fast forward a little bit, and of course you guys can see the full replays on the second part of the video. I'm trying to get as many pairs as I can and also trying to get to the next set of interest at 20 gold. I'm also seeing how I'm fair against other players, and also if I can win against the oversight battles, I can earn more gold. And once I get enough solid units, I'll sell all the other units that I don't need it. I'm also going quite aggressive. You can see I went to level 5 quickly, and I do plan to go to level 6 after round 10. And ideally, I'm trying to win every battle so we can get the maximum amount of gold. Now, should you not have this decent start, you can go with a losing streak. Just go with Shadow Demon, Dazzle, or maybe Oracle. That is very easy to find in this latest patch. And losing streak means you can get a lot of mangoes and also consistent economy. So we're going to fast forward a little bit. You can see for a majority of the time before round 10, just having a bunch of units with decent synergies allows me to win the early game, because a lot of players started to be more greedy. They want to go with gods, they want to go with humans, they want to go with pandas, they also want to go with priest. Now during this time, I'm collecting a number of druids because my crucial units are going to be druid with Last Track and also Elder Titan. For those two druids, it is ideal to have at least 1 or 4 druid available so you can fuse them to level 3 or 3 stars. And also, if you do happen to find miters, make sure you check if enemies are having summon units. If they do, you can use miters for additional gold. Now, in terms of the relic selection, I was very fortunate. With a win streak, I found the Dombolon, one of the best ways to accelerate my game. There's other ways of getting additional economy, and I have talked about this in the previous video, so make sure you check the links below for the guide to raising to Queen rank using different strategies. And if you can't find a good relic, just go with Stolen Vault, that's fine. I'm also trying to keep a number of purple units in the early game. Because I went to level 7 very fast, this allows me to go with a build that just full of purple units, and that is very strong before round 15. So let's fast forward a little bit. You can see me trying to manage my economy while I try to get the most out of it. Around this time, there's also another player that is also very powerful. I'm hoping that I don't face him so I can keep my economy. Most of the other players are trying to maximize the income, so they won't be very strong until after round 15. And this is how usually the game turns out. You can see I don't have many synergies. I have assassins, I have Taurens, and I'm thinking whether I should go with Void. And let's find out what happens. At the moment, I decide to not go with Void because my units, they don't need the debuff invulnerability at this stage. So what and how to play this build is that you want to get to level 9 as quickly as you can. You can try to ban legendary units to increase your chance of the legendary units you wanted. Any legendary unit that gives you God Synergy, Center, or Centaur, or anything that provides you with great coverage of area control or defensiveness, that is great. The build itself just wants you to find 3 gods, 3 turns, together with 2 wizards. Anything else is a bonus. So if you happen to find any legendary unit that have beneficial effects when you lower the cooldowns, then that's all you needed. So here I'm thinking about Primal Beast, Coin of Pain, even Only Knight is great, and anything that can benefit with lower cooldowns, we can make use of that. Nothing too special, we happen to be able to have a win streak, and you can see there's another player with a win streak, which is quite scary, because I saw that I actually lost to him. So, against the Warped round, again, you're looking for anything that provides with mana regen. And you can see I've been collecting all of those items, because mana regen will take you a long way in the mid game to the late game for this build. Having a bottle is also great. You can almost get an instant cast, and usually I put the bottle on my stunners like the Magnus, and Magnus can AoE stun everyone. Now, what are the units you're looking for? You're really looking for purple units that can benefit with cooldown reduction. While leveling up in an aggressive way like this, I'm looking for any purple units that is great of value. But if you're going with losing streak, you don't really have to worry about this, because you probably go losing streak all the way to round 20. I'll try to find you guys a replay of a losing streak as well. So you can see I'm adjusting my units a little bit, and for now, we still retained my win streak. Very soon, I decided to try the Void out, because I was like, hey, I just happen to have Void, right? Let's try the Void out. I'm also considering whether I want to get the Ringmaster, because he can also give me 3 priests, and then I can have 4 priests. But that's a little greedy. So the moment I tried the Void out, I lost instantly. I probably shouldn't have tried the Void. So this is when I lost my win streak, and the health damage is actually quite significant. Because I sacrificed around 34% of health, I'm actually really low on health now, which is a little concerning. But the goal is to get to level 9 and also start rolling at round 21. That is my goal. And I was like, okay, the voids are not doing me well. So after losing my win streak, I decided to go into priest because I know I need to preserve health. I don't want to lose too much. I start to realize my build is a little weaker. So this is when having a losing streak helps. During this time, it is important to look for what are the legendaries you can ban, and then this will give you better chance of finding the ones you wanted. Because the build heavily depends on purple and also legendary units, you really do want to find those crucial units like the Coin of Pain, Lashrak, or anything that can be great for its AoE damage. And you got to see I'm losing quite a bit. And this is a good demonstration to show you that even though I was winning a lot, you can still lose in the early mid game. And as I'm saying, we found a warrior. Warriors are incredibly powerful in the early to mid game because you can go 6 warriors and 9 warriors with a bunch of summons and also stacking armor. And we do have a really good warrior guide if you guys do want to have a look. So, over here, something I do want to mention. So one of the ways I'm banning units, I'm thinking I can ban the elves, but that's will cost me over 20 gold. The cheaper way to ban is actually banning the dwarves that only cost me 4 gold to remove 1 legendary from the pool. I'm definitely not using gyrocopter, and after looking at that, I decided to ban the gyrocopter. Now I can start rolling for my legendaries. Now, if you don't have the Ringmaster as a wizard, which doesn't happen all the time, you can just use Rubik with any other wizard. This can be your Naga, this can be your Dark Widow. I don't recommend using Lion as a wizard, even though Lion enjoys the lower cooldowns, but if you are running as a demon like Queen of Pain, the Lion and also Queen of Pain will remove each other from their synergies with the demons. So this is why I tend to not have Lion as my second wizard. Rubik is a must-have wizard. Now in terms of the wizards, both Naga and also Dark Widow is not a major deal. And this happens in this game, the Ringmaster is also a wizard. So of course I go with Ringmaster, right? Better, better leveling and also better scaling. In terms of item selections and relic, I am losing a lot of HP. You can see I'm down to 33% and I'm trying to come back, right? So this is why I decided to pick the Shard of Concealment. So if I do happen to lose, I'll reduce a bit of damage taken. This is really good in the high rank games if you want to push for top 4. So we go to level 9, we start rolling. What are we looking for? We're looking to buy some purple units, but really we're looking for Elder Titan and then we're looking for Leshrac. Now, during this time, anything you find that is legendary, you should buy it because this will give you additional gold if this is the discovered legendary, which can be very good. Now, I do not need Doom anymore. Only Knight is actually really good. Only Knight is not that broken until you find a lot of cooldown reduction. And surprisingly, I'll showcase to you guys how good Only Knight is in this particular game. Now, notice over here, I even sold my units, so I still have the Priest. It took me 1 additional round to get my build ready, and during this time, I'm still running Priest, which reduced my damage taken. The goal, of course, is to get my Rubik down, and then we can run Gods and also wait the 4 turns. Now, thankfully, I was able to face a very greedy player. This player was going with 6 humans. I don't recommend going with 6 humans, especially in high rank competitive games, because if you don't win with 6 humans, the 6 human synergy does not work well. So something to keep in mind. He's going with 6 humans, gods. It is very powerful, but also very greedy. So keep buying legendaries. Oh, look, I found a Leshrac. And just a small tip, when the panda calls for a unit, it is possible, guys, to hear the voice of a panda. He goes, who's over there? And if you hear that, you can quickly clear up a space. So what I was doing is, let me see if I can let you guys hear that. But you can hear around this time in the replay, when a panda at the start of the round, the panda will make a voice line. If you hear the voice line, make sure you clear space for the panda to give you a free unit. And I've been running panda for like many rounds, so it's about time I get a free panda unit. Now, if you don't have a spot, you can try to move a unit onto the table, or you can sell a unit quickly to give the spot for the panda. So what happened over here is I saw the techies, but I didn't buy the techies instantly because I heard the panda talking. So I waited for the panda to summon the unit. So notice I waited for the unit to be summoned, and I bought the techies. We also got additional gold for buying the new legendary. How good is that? Now that we found the Leshrac, our build is pretty much ready. So let me go through the essential units that is needed for this build. And perfect, we found the Elder Titan, and because Leshrac and also Elder Titan are both druids, you can use this little trick. So having 2 druids on the board, if you put the IO down, IO will randomly select a druid to turn that into a 2-star druid. But if you already have a 2-star druid and also a 1-star druid, IO will definitely give you the other druid to become 2-star. And this allows me to instantly have a massive power upgrade. Other than that, let's have a look at the units that we wanted. So we want Leshrac and also Magnus, which give us Centaur, which allows us to have Centaur that stampedes enemy. We also have the 3 Taurens with the Spirit Breaker, Earthshaker, and also over here with the Elder Titan. There you go. And finally, you want to wizard. So the wizard can be Rubik, the wizard can be any other wizard like, we talked about this earlier. Now, Shadow Demon is definitely not needed. I'm in the process of removing Shadow Demon for something better. I could have put down the Primal Beast, but I was a little too slow on this. And you might say, hey, you don't need level 9 for this, right? But in order to find those expensive, costly units, it is preferable to be rolling level 9 for better purple rate and also legendary rate. Now I can use only Knight, I can use Templar Assassin, I can use Queen of Pain, I can use Tide Hunter, I can even use Techies. So the rest of the build is up to you, however you want to pick it. But I do have some recommendations. So let's have a look. Now that I've finally found my units, I'm gonna give my best item to Leshrac. Having enough mana regen on Leshrac is actually very powerful, especially once he's 2-star. Once he's 3-star, he deals even higher damage. So Leshrac can consistently cast his ultimate that deals AoE magical damage. And that is pretty sizable. So look at the damage Leshrac is dealing. And because Leshrac was charged into the fray of the enemies having Magnus with you, so this really allows you to, dive into the enemy, start casting Leshrac's ultimate, and just burns the enemy down very, very quickly. And here we go. So I start to stabilize a little bit, which is good. I also have the Priest synergy. So one of the reasons I kept the Shadow Demon is I was a little greedy. I'm thinking maybe I can go for Priest, but not recommended. It just got too greedy and too much. So I did sold the Primal Beast. Now, here I do want to mention, it is also great to run 2-star Primal Beast for this build. You just have infinite stuns. But I was a little greedy, I wanted 2-star Templar Assassin for unkillable Templar Assassin. There's so many choices once you get this build going and run this stage. And this is currently one of the strongest builds in the meta because of the changes to the Taurens. Previously, you can't consistently get Elder Titan. Now you can. And once you have Leshrac, the build is perfect. Now, surrounding your units next to Only Knight is also great. Only Knight with double cooldown reduction having 4 gods means that you can almost perma buff your units with damage reduction. Even at level 1, this is super powerful with Guardian Angel. And look at Leshrac going to him. Leshrac doing work at the back with the Magnus. There you go. So we have survivability, we have tons of magical damage, we have a lot of stuns, and now we're just trying to add additional form of damage. It is okay to go with a 2-star demon, especially Queen of Pain. Sometimes people like to go with Doom. Doom is a secondary choice. If you can't find Queen of Pain, having a 2-star Doom gives you consistent Doom targets that is very good with lower cooldowns. You can even give Doom the item that provides him with double targeting. So over here, we're going to skip a little bit. I realized that if I take away my Templar Assassin and also put down the Enchantress, all of a sudden you would have 4 Centaur units for the Stampede synergy. So why would I do Enchantress over the Templar? Is that Templar is not giving me the biggest benefit of damage. But having the 4 Centaur units, you're going to have a look what happens. We're going to trample them non-stop, and this allows you to start your perma stun, which is very good in multiple stages of the game, especially against the mages. So here we're going to trample them, and each time your melee unit moves, they're going to trample them. And this means Only Knight can be trampling them non-stop, Magnus, Spirit Breaker, all the melee units will trample them and also stun enemies. And this start a consistent perma stun, while Only Knight is also providing us with damage reduction. Your 4 Taurens also have chance of silencing and also disarming enemies, which is also super broken in the late game. If a crucial unit gets silenced or disarmed, then they're useless. Here we go. Pretty fun, right? So here is a new setup that I'll share with you guys. So once you stabilize yourself with 4 gods and also 4 Taurens, you are looking for 4 Centaurs. And 4 Centaurs doesn't have to be Enchantress. You can also use the Centaur Chieftain. Yeah, the 2-cost unit Centaur Chieftain can also work. The reason I'm going with Enchantress is just easier to find Enchantress to 2-star and also 3-star. Enchantress have a bit of damage slow, attack speed slow, while Centaur Chieftain will do a little more magical damage. Both of units is just a bonus for the synergy. So around this time, I'm going to try to pick my items. I want to give instant casting on the Magnus, and the rest of the mana regen goes on the Leshrac. During this time, Leshrac would do a lot of damage. Let's fast forward a little bit. I also found a Lincoln Sphere. It also provides tons of mana regen, so it goes the less track. Now, it is preferable to level every 4 experience so you don't waste additional gold. But here, finding the Queen of Pain, I decide to use the Queen of Pain and also level a little earlier, because right now I cannot afford to lose health. I'm also giving any mana regen items on each of my casters, so this way they can cast instantly. You can see I'm jumping the items around. Nothing too special. Ideally, you want Monitor Horn on the Queen of Pain and also Refresher. If you can't get that, any mana regen on Queen of Pain is also good. But the Queen of Pain is a little slow in gaining mana initially, so this can be a little problem. But here I noticed the Queen of Pain took a few seconds to cast, and next round, I'll be taking the bottle out of her. I'll give it back to the Magnus. Again, if you look at the damage recap over here, you can see Last Track during the mid phase of the game is doing a lot of damage, while the Queen of Pain over here provided us with a lot of controls. But we're facing an Aqua build, and they have infinite summons. Oh, look at that. So, something I do want to share with you guys. I was able to find a Divine Rapier. This item is great on any unit, but if you lose the round and your courier take damage, you would lose this item to a random player. This is how I got the item. I think someone had the Divine Rapier and then they lost. Then they gave the Divine Rapier randomly, happened to be given to me. So what I do recommend is, if you look at the enemies and if they can use Divine Rapier better than you, and if your build is not going to be able to instantly 100% win all the rounds with Divine Rapier, I actually don't recommend using Divine Rapier in the early stage. I'll only use Divine Rapier when I'm about to die, because if I die, then it's gone. And if I don't die and I use Divine Rapier and give it to someone else, and then with Divine Rapier they destroy me. So here's the consideration. So if Divine Rapier goes on Morphling, that's bad. If it goes on the Alchemist, that's really bad. If it goes on the Troll, it's bad. If it goes on the whatever Aqua unit he's building, it's also bad. So I can't afford to give Divine Rapier to any other player. And because of that, I decided to not use the Divine Rapier until my health gets really low. I will still use it, but not at this stage. Because if I use it, I lose, then it's gonna be terrible. Let's have a look at the fights against other players. You can really see the full Stampede going in action. So the units are just standing still, and the Queen of Pain follows up with more stuns, and as they get disoriented, move around by Queen of Pain, your melee units goes and chase after them, in return stunning them even further. So this build has perma-stun, as you can see. Or almost perma-stun. Top 4 now. And because I lost last round, I actually don't fight anyone on this run. And to be honest, this relic wasn't that useful because I wasn't losing too much. I thought I was losing a lot. But this relic do help you to get consistent top 4, because each time you lose, the next round you don't fight anyone. So what is my goal now? I've made myself to level 10. The next goal is I'm looking for any additional synergy that can benefit the team. But also I want to wait after round 31 to be rolling for my 2 stars. This can be 2-star Queen of Pain, Only Knight, Earthshaker, any 3-star Druid will be very powerful for this build. But the build is ready. You can see. So at the start, your units will charge at enemies and then stunning them, while Only Knight provides you with consistent Guardian Angel that reduces damage taken. And the best thing is, Only Knight's cooldown is so low, he will always cast Guardian Angel within a few seconds, so your team permanently have damage reduction. If I were to be able to get a 2-star Only Knight, I don't think my team would take much damage other than pure damage, because he reduces magical and also physical damage taken. But look at the perma stuns. It's also really fun to look around. Look at the spider getting stunned. It's really silly. And there's Magnus, and with a little cooldown reduction with Magnus, everyone tramples everyone. So, fast forward a little bit. Let's have a look at the other fights against a variety of players. So here we're facing a player with a lot of summons. Again, the Alchemist can be very powerful, but if you happen to be able to disarm the Alchemist or continuously stunning the Alchemist, then he can't do much. You can see over here, we have Magnus, we have Queen of Pain, we have the Stampede units. Last Track is essential to get the magic damage going and also to kill everything else. After that, you just do a lot of stunning work, and the alchemist can't even move. Top 3 now. So, I have been collecting my jewels, ready for round 31. And over here, one thing is I am counting my available items, and I want to see if I can craft something better. It is a little risky because I'm losing a lot of low tier items, which can be great for magical damage and also mana regen. So let's have a look over here. Nothing too special. We'll fast forward a little bit. But you can see the build is very fun. It uses a lot of combos, a lot of quick spell casting, and it really rewards you for getting higher levels with purple units and those legendaries. There's no relic, nothing too good, so I'll just go with additional gold. Gold is always good. So, Stolen Vault for additional gold. We're gonna roll for my 2 stars. Very important to find those now. One Queen of Ping, a Shaker, need 1 more Queen of Ping. I was like, I'm buying other legendaries to help me with better rates. And I've found my 3-star Elder Titan. Perfect. So now let's count. I will sell the units I just bought to provide me with return economy, and I decided to roll for a purple item. Unfortunately, I didn't really get a really good purple item. The Guardian Grave is defensive, and knowing that my team have a lot of stuns, I didn't want to risk an item I can't use like Battle Fury, so I decided to go with Guardian Graves. But ideally, having something that, deals instant damage like Glendoneer, even Dagon is also great. Additional magical damage, and also allows the Queen of Pain to cast instantly. Here we're facing Night Warriors, and you can see I did not spend all my gold. This is why I roll on round 31, because players will become insanely aggressive. This is in high rank games, so after round 31, most of the players would be very close in dying. And it doesn't look good to me, right? So, let's keep rolling, and let's see what we can find. Queen of Pain and also Io. 2-star Queen of Pain. So here I'm really looking for Lashak. If I can find 1 more Lashak, then it will be golden. No Lashak. I sold everything. And you can notice that my health is getting much lower, to the point that I can die in 1 fight. So this is why I decided to give all the best items I have to the Queen of Pain, and the shift of carry will go to Queen of Pain. And remember, I said earlier, if I'm about to die, I'll even give Divine Rapier to my strongest unit, and that's Queen of Pain. She has assassin criticals, she has pure damage with demons, she also can do tons of pure damage. So let's have a look at the fight. Now if you don't have Queen of Pain, having a Tidehunter 2-star, having even Techie's 2-star can work. But ideally, units like 2-star Tidehunter or 2-star Queen of Pain is unbeatable in the ultra late game. She's literally screaming every 5 or 6 seconds, and that has so much control, most of the enemies can't even move. And you can see over here. And also leeching a lot of life, which is really good. Around this time, you can see the choices of placement. Because I know most of my units will charge at enemies, I just want to give them the damage reduction buff. I want to check the radius of my items like Guardian Graves, and also check the radius of my Only Knight so that everyone can get the buff before they jump into the battle. And I was like, okay, how far is this radius? How far is that radius? So notice I'm trying to get the radius going so that my spell casting will be on point together with all the items like Guardian Graves, and also, anything like mana boots, you want to check the radius of those items. Let's have a look at the warriors. We lost to the warrior previously, so here with tons of new items, let's look at the Queen of Pain against the warriors. He's gonna scream a lot, which is really fun to watch. It's always cool to watch the Queen of Pain scream if you have the Queen of Pain, but if you're receiving the screams, it's not that fun. So you can see she's critting for a lot. I think she's critting for like over 1000 damage. Her base damage is about 500 because of the Divine Rapier, which really helped. This is also a little heart shape over here, as you can see. So, over here, what I'm doing is I'm trying to see if there's any duplicate item that's on my character. Items that are duplicated, I believe they do not work. So this is why I'm trying to not have duplicate items. Checking the radius, and we're pretty much set. I don't think I'll change much. I just have to be careful with the Ricky Cloud, but none of the players are going to use Ricky Cloud because they don't have this for the build. Let's have a look at other players. So he's going for a 3-star Alchemist. Can be a little concerning, but I'm not too scared. Because my disarm totems can be the death of Alchemist. So round 34. I think jump to the back. The Queen of Pain does have a little delay when she jumps, which can be a little troublesome. That's something we need to be aware of, especially when Alchemists have Blink Dagger. But other than that, you can see, even though his units are getting respawned, these revives, rest of my units are doing so much damage. The Queen of Pain one-shotted that little Alchemist with 1.7k pure damage crit. So yes, again guys, if you don't have Queen of Pain, you can go with Tide Hunter, you can go with Primal Spirit, a Primal Beast, or you can go with any legendary that can benefit from the cooldowns. Queen of Pain is one of the best for this, because she has pure damage, she's also an assassin that does a lot of bonus damage, and her AoE is really big. So, round 35, nothing too special. Mana Boots is also good. Refresher is very good on Queen of Pain. Refresher is good on Tide Hunter. Refresher is good on everyone. You can even go with Warlock for this build, by the way, but the Warlock's a little RNG. Now, Queen of Pain has so much mana regen, I decided to give the boots to Lastrak, but I should have probably given to Queen of Pain because of the Refresher. Nothing too special. Let's look at the fights. Look at this. Look at the number of new items they have gotten. Blacking Bar, Datalist, Havoc Hammer, Glambernier. So this is pretty scary. So my only knight is doing a lot of work. Reduce damage taken, while Queen of Pain is pretty much destroying the backline. And there's so much stun, so every moment they're getting stunned by something, whether it's Queen of Pain, whether it's by the Magnus, or whether it's by a melee unit, they're just stunning them non-stop. Look at this Alchemist. He's literally staggering. He's a 3-star Alchemist, he can't even move. Now, it's very close of me defeating another player. I'm also planning if I can go to level 11. I think having additional unit will be great. And as a 2-star Queen of Pain, 2-star Magnus, or even 2-star Templar Assassin can work. Ideally, I want 2-star Only Knight and also 3-star Lashrak. He's very creative though. He's gonna get a lot of invokers using this method, which is really cool method. I'll show you guys. I was able to get multiple 3-star Queen of Pain using this method because he has the spider legs. So let's have a look at the fight. And over here, oh, suddenly I was like, oh, I hope my mic is on because I've been talking. I haven't checked the mic. If the mic is not on, I'll be really sad. So look at this. He got multiple 2-star, is that 3-star invokers? Yeah, he got multiple invokers. But what happens is his Alchemist also blinked onto my Queen of Pain and killed her. But that's not a big deal. My build can work without the Queen of Pain. Surprisingly, let's have a look at the permanent stun. So this is the Alchemist. He jumped, he's getting stunned, Magnus stuns, the whole team comes and stuns him, and then he moves, then he gets disarmed. Really sad way to go for the Alchemist, but this is the powerful build using the gods. So you go with 4 gods, and then you go with 4 Taurens, and then you go with 4 Stampede, and usually you'll find 3 Assassins. The build works wonderfully when you're guaranteed to find Lashrak. If you don't find Lashrak, it's okay to go with the other 3 Centaurs, but it is not as great because you lose a lot of synergy. So I run this build when I find my Lashrak as the guarantee unit for the legendaries. Now before we finish, we do have another video, so many videos. I also tried the 6 gods. So 6 gods I did not count first. A little spoiler over here. So what I want to show you guys is, let's see if I think I ran a win streak as well over here. So I want to find a build that I actually ran a losing streak. So I want to show you guys with 6 gods, I actually don't recommend it. So here we have so many good units, and you can see with Zeus, with a lot of gods, and how come I don't recommend 6 gods is that you're losing a lot of unit synergy, you're losing controls like Queen of Pain, you're losing the center synergy over here just for the 6 gods. And in the end, it didn't work out for me. So if you guys are curious what happens with 6 gods, there is a video for this. But that said, can I find a video that we have losing? Yes. We actually have a lot of different videos. So which one shall we go with? 3-star Tide Dragon Gods. Am I losing on this one? Ooh. Let's have a look. So I just want to show you guys what happens if you run a losing streak. I think I am losing on this. Not greatly though. So another way to run this particular build is to start with assassins. With the changes to the, this is a previous replay before the patch change, but with the latest change to the turns, you can find Earthshaker and also your Elder Titan so much easier. You can see how I started using the assassins, and then eventually, can we get to it? So eventually, you're slowly transitioning into other setup. So I'm running assassins. I'm not going to be the strongest assassin, but I'm just running assassins so I can transition later. So this shows you that you can transition into the build I described earlier. Now, where are we? Oh, I actually didn't make it. That's a bit awkward. So what I was going to show you guys is it is possible to use a similar build coming from this player who found the 3-star tide. And this is a Queen of Pain. This is a very powerful Queen of Pain with Refresher. So in this replay, I think I kept the replay to show you guys the power of a 3-star tide. That's a bit awkward. I thought I was the one that's winning, but no. So let's have a look what happens with the builds. So one thing I wanted to highlight is the Queen of Pain is a very crucial piece in any build because of the AoE damage, the disorientated controls, and with Refresher, and you can see what happens over here. The units getting stunned, controlled, and unfortunately he's facing another player that with the Queen of Pain, right? So this video was also not the one I was looking for. I'll try to find you guys a losing streak video and also attach at the second part of this video then. So this will provide you with multiple replays should you want to have a look, and you can use the timestamps below to learn this latest new meta build with the gods and also the centaurs for perma stun.
Clinker.
Enchanted, I'm sure.
Eyes up and shields front!
The veiled.
Elder Titan. Feel the earth shake. Righteous! Behold the horn of Magnus. Is happy hour by the impure powers of nature. Elder Titan, the Titan. The elements of my nature are in torment. Trees are not so good with motion. My gratitude. The Honorable Totepan. My faithful join. Behold the horn of Magnus.
Enchanted, I'm sure. I'll just sharpen my spear and I'm ready to go. Enchanted, I'm sure. Enchanted, I'm sure. I'll just sharpen my spear and I'm ready to go.
better.
For the right price, anything.
Bleep bloop. I am a robot. Yeah, just kidding.
Triple kill!
I run like a clock.
When your ice is nice.
In the service, Salamene.
Bradwood.
My suit should keep me comfortable through all of this.
serve you. The Monkey King.
When you play with Lena, you tend to get burned.
Damnation rises. Give him hell. The hunter feasts.
I ride with the...
I bring an end to magic.
to shove off. Feel the earth shake.
Enchanted, I'm sure.
Hero's front!
up smarting.
Spirit Breaker.
My spirit returns to flesh.
In the service of Salamene.
Nightcrawler. Bleep bloop. I am a robot. Yeah, just kidding.
Spirit Breaker. No grave for you.
I run like a clock.
Dr. Clinker.
Eyes up and shields front.
Nightcrawler.
My suit should keep.
There's a price on all their heads.
Ice is nice.
King of the desert.
There are none who cannot be mimicked.
King of the desert. Damnation rises.
I'm the brain. The Honorable Dante Panna. At your service. The Honorable Dante Panna. At your service.
Mother of all evil.
save the world. Again. My faithful joy.
I bring an end to magic.
No Slytherin may fail.
Spirit Breaker. Spirit Breaker. You summon the witch.
Dr. Clinker.
By the impure powers of nature.
There are none amongst the mimic.
Enchanted, I'm sure.
Earth shake. The Stormcrafter comes.
Sack.
From my shadow.
A mixed blessing. The elements of my nature are in torment.
myself.